Hello, everybody. Today we're going to think a little bit about Walter's Wonderful Web, that fun book by Tim Hopgood. And we're going to take what we learned in Walter's Wonderful Web, and we're going to think about creating our own pattern and repetition for Walter's Web himself. So for today's lesson, we're going to need some glue. We're going to need a pair of scissors. We're going to need those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strips that are included in your art packet. Yours will be brown, so look for 6 brown strips of paper and grab those for today's lesson. You're also going to need a piece of background paper. Mine is orange. Yours should be yellow. So you're looking for yellow paper and brown strips. We also need some glue and some scissors. So for today, we're going to start with our paper. Let's start with it nice and tall, what we call portrait view, okay? And let's grab these strips. We're going to need to glue them down. What we're making is a window pane. A window pane is what we look at when we see out the window, and we kind of see these divisions, okay? So grab your glue. Remember, when we use glue, we like to twist open the top. Check for that little bit of space there. You can even check for breathing. Remember, if you don't hear it breathing, that tells us that might be clogged inside, okay? And what is my glue mantra? Who remembers from the classroom? There's 2 of them. We can say just a dot, not a lot, or we can say a little dab will do ya. Either way, what we don't want to do is take our bottle of glue and squeeze it all over the place and leave tons of puddles that are going to mush out the side, right? So when we use our glue, we want to be careful. And we can just add a couple dots to our first strip. Remember, just a dot, not a lot. And we're going to place this strip, remember yours is brown, on the very edge of our paper. I'm going to line it up. So we're trying to cover up the edge over here. Okay, you can always give it a little rub. Make sure it's nice and secure on our background paper. We're going to do this a couple times today, everybody. We want to set up our window pane. So just a dot, not a lot. You might be using a glue stick. That's perfectly fine too. Let's put this one on the other side. Glue stick would serve our purpose just fine. So we're going to line that up on the other side. Remember, yours is brown. Okay, so now we have the outside done. We have to do kind of like the middle. So, a couple dots, remember, just a dot, not a lot. Let's put one right in the middle, kind of like the letter H. See how that makes the letter H? But we're not quite done here yet. We're going to put one at the top. You're going to notice that you probably have some leftover on the side. Don't worry too much about that. Let it just hang right off. That's why we grabbed our scissors today, because we're going to have a chance to cut that off. Okay. So look, I'm building my window pane. Remember, I'm gluing just a dot, not a lot. We don't like when the glue smushes out the bottom. We don't want our paper to get super duper messy. Okay, so I did one up top, I did one in the middle, I did one at the bottom. I should have one more, okay? So one more left. We're going to go right in the middle. I'm going to create a cross with it, okay? So a little more glue. Excellent. And right in the middle we go. I always like to press down. Now, if glue is smushing out the sides of your paper at all, you've used a little too much. Okay, so next time don't use as much. When you're all done, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that should look a bit like a window pane. Okay, if there's no more gluing, let's go ahead and close our glue. We're going to close the caps so that we don't see that gap anymore, that space. Make sure the glue bottle's nice and closed. You can grab your scissors. We're going to give our artwork a little trim. So whenever there's a little too much hanging off the edge, we're going to just cut it off on both sides. Okay. Great. Now you might have little scraps like this left over. You can put them in the recycle bin. You can put them in the garbage. If you can think of a different creative way to use them, that's great. We're not going to need them for this project though, okay? So you can decide whether they're garbage, they're recycle, or whether they can be used for something else. So right now we have our window pane. Remember, yours should be brown where mine is white, and yours probably is yellow where mine is orange, but it looks the same. So now it looks like we have this cross pane of a window, and that's the first step of our Walter's Wonderful Web project, where we can start thinking a little bit more about Walter and spiders and their webs. Thanks, everybody.